Marcus on Indiegogo.
Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. You know what Sunday is. Sunday is fun day. That's what it is. And we are here to discuss Black Adam, the Dennis and Andy show, coming to you on a Sunday morning. Dennis finally got up off his butt and went and saw the movie. It's about damn time. That's all I got to say.
Hey, you guys were asking if I had seen it. I hadn't had a chance yet, so I made time just so we could watch it and review it and talk to it. A lot of you guys had questions and comments and wanted to see what we thought. So because you wanted it, we went and did it. And I saw it in an IMAX just to get the experience and paid the extra. And we'll find out shortly if it was worth it.
I saw it in IMAX as well. So there.
See, we both saw it in IMAX.
Exactly.
So let's just talk that without even talking. There will be spoilers later on in this, and we've decided that you guys like the pitch meeting so much. At the very end, we are going to do the pitch meeting. Morning, Marcus.
What's up, Marcus? Yeah, we're going to show the pitch meeting from the Pitch Meeting YouTube channel. It's hilarious what this guy does. He plays both roles, the role of the executive and the role of the guy pitching the movie. It's really funny. He does a great job summing up the movies, but he does have spoilers in the pitch meeting. So we will talk spoilers about Black Adam. We can start off saying it is no Halloween Ends. Thank God for that.
Yes. So since we both saw it in IMAX, the thing we can talk about right away, was it worth the extra money in IMAX? Was this an IMAX-worthy movie, Andy?
Yes, I definitely think it was. These movies, whether it's DC or Marvel, they always go for the epic scale and proportion of things. And with the blown out action that they do in these movies, with the fight scenes and things like that, you want that little extra oomph when it comes to the sound and the bigger screen, so it's more immersive when you're watching it. So I definitely think if you're going to see Black Adam, pay the extra to see it in IMAX, and you won't be disappointed.
Excellent. I agree. My wife and I went and saw it. We had perfect seats right in the middle of the theater, dead smack in there. It was what I expected. It was a solid budget, high special effects movie. And the special effects, you could tell some of the stuff, it looked like it was shot quite a while ago, and then other stuff was shot recently. So a little bit to me, you could kind of tell, but honestly, overall, I thought it was well worth the special effects extra money for this movie.
Now, what do you think? What are you talking about? Give me an example.
Give you an example. The fighter jets, the ones that we saw all the way back in the original trailer, that they actually had pulled that from the current trailers, and I think it was because they had a lot of garbage flack that they took because it was literally straight out of Iron Man. It was well done. All the Smasher when it gets big, again. There's nothing new in this particular movie that jumps out and goes, oh, wow, that takes it in a new direction or is brand new. But it was very competent in everything that it did. So like Smasher's face mask, to me, it looked like Deadpool's, just different color.
Well, yeah.
Same mesh, same everything, and I'm okay with that. We don't have to reinvent the wheel to make something enjoyable.
But they stuck to how it looks in the comics. So, give them, they stuck to how it looked. So, Dwayne The Rock, can you smell what Black Adam is cooking? Johnson played Black Adam. And I got to say, I was really, I don't want to say impressed, because I'm not saying that this dude should be up for an Oscar for this movie, but he didn't do, in my opinion, his rockisms, his Dwayne Johnson isms that he does in most of the movies he's in. You know, when he's in Fast and the Furious, when he was in Skyscraper, when he was in oh my God, what was the name? Rampage. You know, there's certain uh, you know, Dwayneisms that you're expected to see. And I think that's because every one of those characters is a real person. And uh, every one of those characters is a real person. So he can interject some humor and stuff like that into it, like people have. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. I think it's a little more than pretty okay. Could The Rock play Namor too? He's a little too buff for Namor. I wouldn't make
I
Namor.
agree.
I just, you know, I think the guy that plays Namor for a tangent is the right size. I just think he should have been a little more defined in regards to burning a little more body fat and getting a little more toned. Because he just,
Yes.
you know, if you're a swimmer like that, swimming is the one of the best exercises because it literally works every muscle in your body. So the dude should be more well defined and toned. Anyhow, let's get back to Black Adam. The Rock playing Black Adam was definitely more stoic and you know didn't crack wise jokes, wasn't super sarcastic. um and I think it was a different note of characters for he doesn't even go by The Rock anymore. I mean, we all call him The Rock, but he goes by Dwayne Johnson, obviously. Uh, it was a different type of character for him to play, and I think he did a really good job pulling it off with the dramatic. You know, it was. I mean, he was. You know, there was lighthearted moments in the movie, but that was more from Adam Smasher and some of the JSA Cyclone and stuff. Aldous Hodge, who played Hawkman, I thought was awesome. I've always liked that actor since the show Leverage.
We as soon as we saw him, my wife and I are huge Leverage fans, and as soon as we saw him, we're like, "Oh my God, that's awesome! That
Yeah.
is an awesome." I love him as an actor, and I agree with you on The Rock. I was kind of waiting for the stoic moment, like in Jumanji, and then he would look, and I was waiting for the hawk to go, something like that. But he didn't have a lot of his tropes in this. He played a. The only negative to me is a little bit was Black Adam. To me, has always been really more of a true villain. They kind of put The Rock. I don't think wants to be a villain, but can't really be the hero in this type of a movie. So he had elements of both, but I don't think he wanted to hurt his brand by going full on villain. Yes, he killed people, but not in the outright that I thought he would have, like in the comics. But with that being said, I thought he walked that tight line fairly decently by constantly saying, I am not a hero. I mean, that is the one thing. His actions kind of showed it, but he kept saying
I think one of the things with it is, yes, he said he's not a hero, but he's also not a villain from the standpoint of I'll kill innocent people. You know what I mean? Did people die in this movie because of him? Yes, but they weren't good people. He wasn't just going around. A true villain to me doesn't give a crap about innocent life and will just go around throwing, you know, killing innocents with disregard. Black Adam wasn't doing that. He's when he was like, you know, I'm not a hero, it was basically from the standpoint of, look, these are bad guys. If I get something out of them I need, then I drop them and they fall to their death. Whereas a hero would obviously be like, no, we just don't kill. And that's the line that Aldous Hodge, Hawkman, was playing. And yeah, I know Hawkman's not black, but I'm not, I don't know, because Hawkman can basically, and they didn't delve into it in this movie, but Hawkman's a character that is basically reincarnated. Carter Hall, you know, goes way back. And it just didn't bother me as much, even though Hawkman goes back to the 1940s, you know, the golden age as a character, and has always been shown as being a white guy. I guess this is just, you know, it's just one of those characters. It really didn't bother me that he was portrayed by Aldous Hodge as a black guy. You know,
To
it's
me,
not
at
the same
least, I,
as
you,
swapping Superman. You know,
yeah, with him, at least if you're gonna swap stuff out, which I take it with a grain of salt. At least they picked not only a competent actor, but somebody who really brought out the black and white traits. He was very much like a paladin. You either are good or you're bad. There's nothing in between. So his role was actually pretty decent, I thought. But
yeah.
I wasn't surprised. In the comic books, they retconned his history sometime in the 1970s. From what it was back in the Golden Age and stuff like that. And it is what it is. I mean, you can't change it. I wish they would have just stuck. I'm always a purist, so I would always rather them stick to it. But some things just didn't bother me, and this was one that wasn't a bother me.
We both know the reason Hawkman 40% Zed says was changed is because of quota. I'm not going to disagree with that. They had Dr. Fate, Pierce Bronson, white guy. They had Adam Smasher, kind of white guy, I guess. Cyclone, black girl, who I don't know much about Cyclone from the comic, so I don't know what her deal is. And you also pointed out, Black Adam isn't a black guy either, but he's not just a straight up going by the Black Adam miniseries that came out in 2007 by Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke, which is one of my favorites. And that actually had a fight between Black Adam and Hawkman in it. Black Adam didn't look like a straight up hunky in that miniseries. So, and I don't look at The Rock. Like, you see The Rock standing next to Aldous Hodge, and yes, The Rock is a mix because he's part Samoan, and his dad, Rocky Johnson's black. Doesn't bother me. Now, I will say it would have been nice if with makeup they gave The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the Black Adam haircut. I will say I think that would have been cool if he had that Black Adam Widow's Peak type haircut. There's no reason to keep him bald just because The Rock is bald. He's not bald in the comics. They could have easily, with makeup, done that haircut, and I think it would have played much better. I've even thought about doing a quick Photoshop over a picture of The Rock as Black Adam, putting that haircut on him. So, let's see. Apex Comics, hello. Yeah. Zed says, I'll drop it. Didn't mean to be a downer. No, that's cool. Hey, you've got an opinion. Say it. Luffy is God. The positives are we now have the JSA and the DCEU, Black Adam, Shazam. Yep. Waller means the Suicide Squad is in it still. And we get Cavill as Superman, as just confirmed. Batfleck will be Batman again. And those are all huge positives. Huge. I am very excited. I mean, we're jumping around with this movie review.
Yeah, I was going to say let's keep on some of the other positives and characters. Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan, to me, absolutely stole the movie. I enjoyed all of the characters. There wasn't a single one of the superhero characters that I went, I think they did really bad on it or didn't like. Pierce Brosnan was my standout of this one, hands down. Thought he was fantastic. I love the interpretation of Dr. Fate. I know a couple people in the comments throughout the week before I had seen it had commented he looked a little too much like Doctor Strange. Marvel came first with it, so any magic stuff they're going to do, there's going to be a lot of similarities.
Whoa. Oh, wait. You mean the Marvel movies came first with Doctor Strange? Yeah, because Dr. Fate's been around longer than Doctor Strange.
Right, because people are already saying that, well, it's the same magic. Marvel came first. Magic can only be done certain ways. I thought they did great. The one thing that I laughed about in every scene, because my wife didn't know who most of anybody was in here, which was cool because, so she's looking at it with completely fresh eyes. So it's always fun to watch a movie like that. But Dr. Fate took off his helmet Every scene, just about, I swear, he either took off or put the helmet on. I loved it because you got to see this stuff, and that helmet, even laying there on the ground, the helmet was almost as much Dr. Fate as what Pierce Brosnan was. And his characterization, there's fight scenes going on, and he's sitting in the living room, sitting there popping a mint or something and eating it, watching it go by. It was great. He was fun. I loved his character. What'd you think about Pierce?
I thought he was great. Real quick, The Rock with the haircut and the pointed ears. I did this back a few years back, not all the way to 2007 when it was announced, but around there. This was actually a commission with the real Dr. Fate head, that I would draw for DC. But once it was announced he was going to play him, I redid the head as The Rock, and I think he would have looked great with that haircut. You can still tell it's The Rock, so that's my 2 cents there. But going back to what Dennis asked, yes, Dr. Fate was definitely a standout. Pierce Brosnan is just thank you, Apex Comics. Pierce Brosnan is just a A++ actor. He brings the heat everywhere. It is weird because if memory serves, isn't Pierce Brosnan the dude in a wheelchair in Doom Patrol? Or am I thinking? No, that's Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton.
Okay, Timothy Dalton. So never mind.
Different James Bond. I was trying to figure out where you were going.
So anyhow, back to Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I thought he was great. I know why they took the helmet off, because unlike in the first Spider-Man movie way back with the Green Goblin and that stupid mask where you couldn't see the Green Goblin emote or anything, which is really ridiculous when you have William Dafoe as the bad guy with great facial expressions. You want to see Pierce Brosnan be able to emote. So he takes the helmet off. But when he was in the helmet, when he was in the suit, when he was doing the magic and stuff, yes, did Doctor Strange cross my mind a little bit? Of course it did. But I thought they did a good enough job switching it or making it different to the point of I was like, oh my God, if these two studios could get their shit together and do a Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange movie, how awesome would that be? That would just blow my balls off. Literally, my balls would be blown off in separate directions. So no, I thought Dr. Fate was great. I thought Adam Smasher brought just the right amount of humor to the movie. He was definitely their Peter Parker type with the quippiness.
And who was his father? Uncle,
His uncle who passed down the mantle of Adam Smasher to him was a brief cameo, and it was Henry freaking Winkler, the Fonz.
Of course, I laughed, and that is the moment my wife had to run to the bathroom, and I was like, "Ooh, I bet you're gonna miss something," and she totally missed the entire scene with Henry Winkler. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Getting to Black Adam's origin, I believe it kind of lined up a little bit with some of the comic stuff they're doing. It does not line up, I don't think, with that miniseries Black Adam that Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke did. I got to go back and reread it. I'm not sure where they cobbled together that origin because I don't read the new Black Adam comic that DC puts out. I will say, pet peeve, DC put out 3 trade paperbacks of Black Adam stuff in the past few weeks with The Rock on the cover as Black Adam. And I've got some Black Adam work in one of the trade paperbacks. Did not get a complimentary copy that DC is usually good about sending out. A little bit of a bummer there. I've got one contact still at DC I might email and ask if he can get me one. I'd like to avoid paying $35 for the book because I do like owning one of everything I've done, even if it's a reprint. So just saying, a little bummer. But anyhow, they start off the movie 2,500 years ago, whatever it is in Kondak. And, they're mining for the specific element, crystal, whatever, that is very powerful. We'll try and keep the spoilers to a minimum. And anyhow, then, so you kind of get the origin of Black Adam from there. Then it cuts to present day, and they're looking this brother and sister and two other dudes are looking for this crown, and Intergang. It's Intergang, right?
Yeah, which we're assuming because they don't explain it. I'm assuming it means like an international gang.
Right.
It's not like the Bloods or the Crips, but they call it. So I was like, you could have come up with a better name, but whatever. I'm assuming that's what it means.
I think Intergang is actually part of the DC universe.
Could be. It didn't ring a bell with me at all.
No, rang one with me. I'm almost sure they are.
But then the one thing that they didn't specifically say, you find out that this alloy that they were mining, Eternium, actually you find out, it can hurt Black Adam a little bit. You've seen it. He's never in danger of dying or anything. But it looked like, and if you guys know out there, leave a comment in the chat, that their hover bikes or whatever their vehicles were, they looked like they were powered by it. They did have Eternium-filled rockets that he did shoot at them and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, Intergang is Superman. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, for some reason, well, it's not some reason. They want that Eternium stuff, so that's why they're in Kondak trying to kind of take over or whatnot. So they're kind of the bad guys of it, and it's all about this Eternium, this crown, and stuff. They had Black Adam and Hawkman go toe to toe in a fight. And at first, Intergang is a Kirby creation during New Gods. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Marcus, you're dropping knowledge bombs that I'm really disappointed Dennis isn't. So, because
it's the DC side. You guys know I'm way more into Marvel, and
so Dennis doesn't know these knowledge bombs and stuff. So, oh, hey. Oh, look at that. Boy, you hurt the guy's feelings for just 2 seconds, and he gets his little panties in a bunch. Man. Boo hooty hoo.
So,
anyhow, so, that was fun. So thank you, Marcus. So Hawkman and Black Adam go toe to toe. Black Adam comes off really powerful, and you would think a human wouldn't be able to go up against Black Adam, but they do a pretty good job with the nth metal explanation and stuff, and you can kind of go with, okay, he can be protected by that, and it kind of increases his power and stuff. So it's comics. I didn't have a problem with it, is all I'm saying. I didn't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah, my point with the Intergang was it just feels like that they somehow, and they didn't explain it in the movie, because they had the Eternium-filled rockets and the blue that their jet gang bike thingies went through, it felt like it was powered by it. So I wish they would have explained something in there. But anyway, just a thought. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So, so the JSA gets involved because Waller's basically like, look, this dude, Black Adam, we can't have this guy running around the planet. I don't give a crap if he's just solely in Kondak right now. You guys need to go take care of this dude and bring him in. And they do a good job too. So another question I had was, if all this shit's going down, we already know there's more heroes in the DC EU, like Superman, like Batman, Suicide Squad, the whole Justice League, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Why aren't they paying attention, and why don't they care? And I thought they did a decent job explaining that, Kondak's, just this mess of a a country, and you can't fix everything.
They set it
So
up as your typical third world Middle
right,
Eastern country that it's being oppressed right now. So you've got that, and then the story really centers around Adriana. I thought she was great. I actually loved her. She filled in some of the pieces, the history a little bit, and then her son Armin, and he was the one who really tried to befriend Black Adam.
mm-hmm.
And parts of it worked and a lot of it didn't for me. I thought the kid was so annoying and over the top at times. It was just too much. He was too much
He was
of
too much of a fanboy. I mean, the
yeah.
dude's bedroom had so much DC merchandise, and I mean, honestly, it looked like the background of Dennis's man cave there with but it was all DC stuff. It was a mix of what Dennis has and what I have with my toys and action figures and stuff. This kid is a huge DC Comics fan. They showed him reading DC Comics. He had the Ivan Rice Superman Man of Steel poster. He had a Flash poster, an Aquaman poster, just all this stuff. And he's trying to tell Black Adam, oh, you need a catchphrase. You need a cooler name than, Teth Adam. And it was a little overbearing, over the top. And the kid made Tony Hawk look like a punk when it came to skateboard skills. And you're just
Yeah.
like, all right.
Even in the building, his own building with steps. So it's like a big, long, circular steps going down. He's
Just
on his
makes sense for that
skateboard
apartment.
rolling. And then, get down there. And I was like, okay. I didn't mind that they set him up that he could do it. It's just he took up so much screen time when I really would have rather seen screen time they had a nice relationship between Cyclone and Smasher. I would have liked to have seen more of that developed and less of him. So that's a negative.
Yeah, a little more character development with Cyclone and Smasher and the relationship they were building, because they just meet for the first time in this movie. And I thought the actress that played Cyclone I thought she was fantastic. I thought the guy that played Adam Smasher was fantastic. I think they did a really nice job casting these two people who I've really never heard of before. So I don't know. I mean, what do you want to give it on the old CGC, or should we watch the pitch meeting first?
No, let's give it our grade. I'm giving this one a solid 7.5.
Oh my God, so am I.
No way.
I usually wouldn't interject, but I am literally giving it a 7.5 as well. That is hilarious. We are on 7.5.
And now we did not talk about this, nor did we even see the movie at the same time. So it was a solidly fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Again, Pierce Brosnan totally, to me, stole the movie. And that's why I was very sad. And then the biggest one, which we do have to talk about, was, and it didn't make a lot of sense, but Amanda Waller basically tells Black Adam, you need to stay there and not leave. And he goes, there's nobody on this planet that can keep me here. And she goes, you're right, but I got somebody that I can call in a favor who's not from this planet. And then Henry Cavill shows up. Seriously, awesome. He had the curly Q.
Yes, finally, he had the curly Q. Finally.
Right, and the John Williams score that was in there, you could hear it in the back room very, very lightly. And it doesn't make sense why Amanda Waller and him are even discussing stuff right now. But with that being said, they're setting this up, and I thought that was just huge news. Very well done. Yeah, this was a good movie all the way around. Totally fun. I would recommend seeing it. The only thing that I have a question about, we got to see the trailer in ours for the new Shazam movie for next year. Looks totally funny, hilarious. The only thing is you've got this serious dark kind of Black Adam movie, and eventually he and Shazam, that's Perky and Happy, they have to come together and butt heads. I don't know how they're going to do this movie because these movies have two completely different type of feel. So I'll be very curious, but I can sense it'll be coming in a few years.
Oh yeah, it's got to. But you're right. I mean, the Henry Cavill and just the film itself was a shot in the arm that I think DC needed to kind of just get him back and boost him up. All right, let's watch the Black Adam pitch meeting. I have shared my sound, so make sure to tell me, Dennis, that if I need to increase the volume.
So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. So I was thinking we could get The Rock to star as Black Adam.
Ah, which one?
Which Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought this was like about a rock collection you had or something.
You thought I wanted to make a stop-motion Black Adam movie starring a rock from my rock collection?
Listen, I'm very embarrassed, and if we could just move on, I'd appreciate it.
I guess. So anyway, there's going to be this evil king 5,000 years ago in this place called Kahndaq, right?
Right.
And he makes this freaking crown that makes you powerful using a rare mineral called Eternium.
Those all seem like they might be words. Sure.
Thank you. And this little kid wants to oppose him, and so some wizards give him the power of Shazam, and he becomes a big old hero.
Oh boy, that's good. That's what we want in this movie.
Actually, no, because Black Adam is not a hero.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And so how are we going to show that he's not a hero?
He's going to say it constantly.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, later in the movie, there's going to be a big reveal where we find out that this kid actually transferred the powers to his father and then was killed, so the father became Black Adam.
Oh, they killed Black Adam's son. That is a big reveal. I'm going to put that in the trailer.
Oh, please don't do that.
It's going to be good in the trailer.
All right. So anyway, 5,000 years later, Kahndaq is now being oppressed by this gang called the Enter Gang.
That's a terrible gang name.
I don't know what to tell you, sir. They're good at gang stuff, not creative writing.
That's fair.
And so this lady, Adriana, wants to stop the gang from getting this crown, so she goes to get it before them.
How does she find it?
By driving up to the entrance of this cave and going in, and it's just it's floating there.
Oh, so how was this lost for 5 millennia?
Don't worry about it. But then some intergang people show up, so she says some words that make Black Adam show up.
Oh boy, here we go.
And so then he shows up and starts killing all the bad guys.
Cool.
Which is a big deal, because heroes, they don't do that. They don't kill.
No, they pretty much all do.
Hey, shut up. So he's not. He's pretty much villain if you think about it. He's such a bad guy.
Is he killing random people?
No, just like mean, evil guys that directly attack him.
So he's pretty much a hero.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Because remember, he's going to keep saying he's not. So he's not.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay. That's my bad. So does he speak in like an ancient language or something?
No, he's just going to speak in Dwayne Johnson's normal American accent.
How does that work?
That's actually a really good question. It's kind of a combination of magic and Dwayne Johnson probably not being able to do an accent for a full movie.
That makes sense.
So anyway, then Amanda Waller's going to send the Justice Society to stop Black Adam.
And so who's the Justice Society exactly?
Oh, well, there's Hawkman, and he has like this long historied friendship with Dr. Fate, who loves to dramatically remove his helmet.
That does sound fun.
He does it in every single scene he's in. And then there's also a guy, Atom Smasher, and this girl, Cyclone.
And what's their deal?
Well, they're in the movie as well. Oh, sick. And so then a big chunk of the movie is going to be the Justice Society following Black Adam around and being like, heroes don't kill people. And he'll be like, I'm not a hero.
He freaking loves saying that. He loves it.
He really does. And we're also going to find out that Eternium stuff can actually like weaken and injure Black Adam.
Oh boy, I bet that's going to come into play later.
Nope. And then so also the leader of the bad guys, Ishmael, he's trying to get the crown. He wants it real bad.
Very rude.
And at a certain point, they actually kidnap Adriana's son.
Uh-oh, kidnapping.
Yeah, Black Adam tried to stop it, but he failed. And so, they got him.
Oh, he didn't get there in time?
No, he did. But instead of taking him from the apartment he was in and flying him far away, he just flew him to a different floor in the same building. So they took him.
Yeah, it was a decent strategy, but I could see why that totally didn't work at all.
Yeah, and then they catch up with this bad guy who fires a bullet at the kid, but then Black Adam jumps in and stops the bullet, but makes a big explosion at the same time.
Oh, do people die?
Only the bad guys, and the kid is kind of unconscious.
Wow.
So then Black Adam turns himself in and gives up his powers.
What? Why?
Well, because of how horribly that just went.
He saved the kid and got rid of the bad guys. That went fine.
Well, he's going to turn himself in because we're at a point in the movie where something like that should probably happen. Oh, okay, gotcha. So they lock him up in this underwater prison inside a water tank with a thing covering his mouth, because if he says Shazam, he turns back into Black Adam.
Feels like the Justice Society's gonna need his help immediately.
But then the Justice Society needs his help immediately. Oh my God. They're in their fancy jet, and the jet detects that the demon Sabak has appeared.
Their aircraft identifies demons by name?
Yeah, sure, okay. And so it turns out the bad guy actually wanted Black Adam to kill him, because that's what would turn him into this big, powerful demon being.
Uh-oh.
And then Dr. Fate is going to sacrifice himself.
Oh, why?
Because I was thinking of Pierce Brosnan for the role, and he'll probably only sign on for one movie.
That makes sense.
But before he dies, he telepathically helps Black Adam escape from his little water pod.
So all he's got to do is say Shazam and he'll get his powers back?
Exactly. So he's got to fight all these guards and then get to the door of this prison thing and then swim up to the surface and remove his mouth thing and say Shazam.
Why doesn't he just remove the thing from his mouth and say Shazam as soon as he gets out of the pod?
Because this is slightly more dramatic. So then he does say it and he flies into hell.
I did think that. I was like, come on.
Wow. But then also Adriana's son has to convince a bunch of people to rise up and go fight because the whole city's going nuts.
Man, it's going to be hard for a child to get the attention of a bunch of screaming adults.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, he stands up on a little thing and talks to all of them at like a normal speaking volume, and they all stop what they're doing and listen to him.
And that works?
It does, yeah. And so then all these people are like, hey, let's listen to this very quiet kid and rise up together.
And what are they all going to go fight exactly?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention there are skeleton zombies now.
What?
Yeah. Some little skeleton zombies showed up, so they all got to fight those and regain the control of the city from the skeleton zombies that appeared.
Isn't the city being run by a gang? Wouldn't it make more sense to rise up against them?
Well, they're human, so that could get messy if they die. So no, it's going to be a soulless CGI army, so there's no like moral implications when they kill these beings.
Smart.
So Adriana and some other characters are going to be fighting these skeleton zombies, and then the kid rounds the corner on a skateboard with all these people behind him, and he's like, yo, Mom!
Oh, cool 90s kids are tight.
It's not the 90s, sir. He's just a cool skateboard kid who says, yo, Mom, and wisecracks with Black Adam like he's John Connor from Terminator 2.
That movie from the early 90s?
Yes.
All right.
And so then Black Adam kills the demon guy, and everybody's very happy about it.
Amazing.
And then in a post-credit scene, Amanda Waller sends Superman to talk to Black Adam.
She can send Superman places?
I guess so, sir.
And so what does Superman say?
He says, let's openly talk about this scene in interviews so people come see this movie.
I love that.
And so, yeah, that's about it. What do you think?
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I say we get the ball rolling on this right now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. We're going to fast track this one.
Yes.
I know.
Hi, everybody. Ryan George here. Thanks for watching that pitch meeting. I hope you enjoyed it.
That is one of the funniest things is the fact that this thing got green lit. And he's actually been talking about it since 2007, I believe.
Yes.
So
and I left the link for Ryan George's pitch meeting channel in there. So if you guys want, you can go over there and like it, because this was funny. That was funny. And he did bring up one point you and I didn't touch on, but my wife and I did in there. Because as soon as they put him in there and he had that mouth thing and he gets out, Dr. Fate releases him. I was like, oh, cool. He's just going to rip it off and go Shazam. And then he slowly bubbled up to the top afterwards after getting shot and did all that. And I'm like, but there's air down there. I mean, it's not like it's water that you're floating
Why wouldn't
up.
you
And
just
I was like,
that
why?
was the thing. He, I totally agree that was just ridiculous because he's fighting those guys. All he had to do was rip that thing off and say Shazam, and then the depth that thing is at, I'm like, wait a second, no human, because he's human at this point, could last that distance going, resurfacing and stuff without the bends and all that crap they warn about and stuff. So I was like, all right, that's dumb. You should have just had him get into a fight, rip his thing off and say Shazam. You didn't need to do all that water crap.
It was just for dramatic effect. But like I said, for the most part, we can nitpick some of the little stuff, but it was still fun. I'm going to say this, it was probably way more fun than anything in Marvel Phase 4 right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you know what's really fun? Kor-Drath, The Reckoning.
It is.
Kor-Drath, The Reckoning, 965 backers, 35 backers away from that magical 1,000 backers. Thank you guys so much. We couldn't do it without you. 5 different cover options, 2 different t-shirts, a beanie, so much stuff to choose from. I've updated the page with the 2-page spread that is now lettered. So if you want to get a sense of the story, look at that. There is lettering going on now. So my God, just look how that fills up nicely. The battle, the lettering my boy Steve Dutro does, the colors by Nan Jan Jambiri. Just bringing it all together here. So guys, the link is in the description below. As always, if you haven't backed Kor-Drath yet, you should stop waiting and just go back this now. You will not be dissatisfied. This project is going to blow the roof off the place, I tell you. So go check it out. 965 backers, just 35 away from 1,000. Let's do this. I know we can. We're pouring our heart and soul into it. It is now 76 action-packed pages. So the trailer says 64. It's 76. Might have to redo that trailer. So there you go, guys. Go back it now.
So Andy, where are you off to next?
I am off to Ethan Van Sciver's channel because I hear the launch of Shane Davis's Inglorious Rex 2 is happening. So I'm going to bounce over there, join that party for a little bit, and then spend the afternoon on a Sunday, fun day, watching football with my daughter. We have our matching t-shirts on. Guys, thank you for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday, 5 p.m. with our special guest, Camel Moon, coming on the show. Continue our conversation with him. We were on his channel last Thursday, so you can check that out. He'll be on ours this Wednesday at 5 p.m. Should be a good time. So we're gonna go do that. And 40%. Thank you for joining us, and thank you all for joining us. And
let's go over and support Shane now.
That's right. We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.